Cosmic Waffles asking, are you enjoying working on the splittening? I mean, both yes and no. It is a lot of... It is kind of fun, like, you know, being able to finally work on this, because I've been imagining working on this for years at this point. Like, I've been like, I want to get to this point where we get to use all these cool tools and just feel it make, you know, everything kind of feel better across the board. And there's been a lot of preparatory work. Like, I've literally been thinking about this for years, and now to finally be able to work on it, I'm like, you know, it's here, it's happening, and then I have the build. Like, I've imagined, like, the build, like, how it's gonna feel, like, you know, having the build actually run on .NET 9 and have it render across IPC mechanism and have all of it working. Like, I was, like, looking forward to that, like, you know, for years. And now, like, I actually have it working on my machine, and, like, sometimes I'm playing with the build, and I'm like, this is real now. Like, I'm literally working on it right now, I'm making it happen. Is the thing I wanted to work on, I wanted to make happen for so long, and it's now. I'm finally at the point, I'm finally done all the prerequisite work, you know, I'm done with photos, I'm done with audio, I'm finally working on this, like, you know, big goal of the Switch, and it's gonna make things feel much better going forward. So there's that element to it, like, you know, where I'm like, it's happening. I wanted this to happen for so long. The other side of it, though, is because I'm like, I need this to happen as fast as possible. Like, you know, we want to do a big marketing push. We, like, you know, have a lot of depending on this. We want to, like, you know, we want to have, like, you know, a lot more kind of community events, you know. I need to make it happen as fast as possible. So it's also kind of a crunch, which becomes, like, tiring and, you know, wears me out. So it's kind of like, and also I don't have as much time. Like, you know, I wanted to play some games, I don't have time for them right now. I wanted to, like, you know, spend time, like, doing other things, but I don't have the time right now because it's just crunch, is largely crunch on the splittening. So, and then there's, like, you know, the aspect, the worries, where it's like, what if it's not gonna be enough for people? Like, you know, like, what if all this work will be for, you know, and people will be unhappy with it, and that's, like, you know, bringing some anxiety to it. And then the other part is, you know, what if we do all of this work, and then people are not gonna care? Like, you know, maybe people will not come back to the platform, and, you know, all of this, like, you know, which we were, like, thinking, you know, this is like, people said, a lot of people were like, you know, this is one of the major reasons we don't play, is the performance. So our thinking is, this is going to help us bring more people, it's going to bring more support, it's going to bring more funding, but then there's also the anxiety of, like, you know, being like, what if it doesn't? And I think, like, in big part it's kind of irrational, because, like, you know, the data we have, like, you know, switches otherwise. The data we have with the headless, when we did the Net 9 switch on headless, well, it was actually Net 8 back then, but when we did a switch, we saw substantial performance improvement across the board. And that was the reason we, you know, like, I wanted to do it for headless first, because it runs pretty much the same code, except, you know, the rendering bits. And I was like, you know, how much is it gonna help? And it showed it helps a lot. And that's, like, a strong data point, is, you know, showing, okay, this runtime actually helps run Froox engine way faster. So there's data there, you know, that's showing, like, it should make things way better. And same, you know, with the survey, we asked people, what's the main reason you don't play, you know, or what would make you play more? And a lot of people said is the performance, and people said it across different demographics. Like, people who play Resonite a lot had the same answer, people who play on it regularly had the same answer, people who don't play had the same answer. All of them said they will play more, or they will want to play once the performance is better. We hear it from a lot of people too, like, you know, where you say, you know, like, you're gonna bring more people onto the platform once the performance is better. we see a lot of comments where people are like, I don't play because, you know, my machine cannot handle it, or because the performance or the frame rate is really low. So a lot of the data is like, you know, saying it should help a lot. Like, so like, you know, the rational part of me is like this is the right thing to do. We should be like working on this. This is the best approach we can take. It should help a lot with performance. It should help bring a lot more people. It should help bring a lot more support. But then the irrational part of the brain is like, what if it doesn't? And that's kind of, you know, hard to deal with. And the closer I get, you know, to having the splittening done, or even having the pre-release, the more I'm like, now it's gonna, you know, now it's like the moment of truth, like what if it's not gonna be enough? And the closer it gets, you know, the more anxious I get. So like it's kind of this weird case where, like, you know, I'm both like getting excited and also getting more anxious as it gets kind of closer. So like, yeah, it's like kind of, I both enjoy it and I also don't enjoy it, and it's kind of, you know, conflicting my brain with that. Yeah.